Hi, Gordon.
Hello. We have an audience tonight, huh?
I guess so.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Ow.
There was on the applications, they were both labeled 22, 23.
But then I send you guys another email stating that that I had made a mistake, and then to please disregard that.
Okay. So that's just 24. That's
Yeah.
the only change, right?
Yep.
Okay. I just quickly pull up the documents here tonight, and I don't see everything sometimes.
Yep. No, yeah, Judy Gerson. 22, 24, I fixed it.
Right.
Hi, Michelle, it's Judy. You're muted.
Hi, you
I
guys
was
made
able-
it.
Well, actually, there was better connection than we thought.
Good, I'm glad.
Okay,
Oh, and there's your son now.
yeah.
Hello.
I see him.
How are you?
Hi, Alex, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. There's Jude.
Hello. How's it going?
Good, how are you? Need a couple more members.
Mhm. Please don't keep me waiting. I'm so tired of waiting. Michelle?
Yay, there's Joe.
And within a minute, we will be able to get going here. And that's good. Hi, everybody. I'm Gordon Wemp, Chairman of the Woodstock ZBA. And tonight, once I pull up my right sheet here,
Jude Stellato.
yeah. Roll call.
Joe.
Joe Bellick.
Okay, we have a quorum. We'll get this underway. Anybody else comes, they can just pipe in when they come in. Do we have any changes or additions to the meeting agenda tonight? No. Okay. I'd like to submit the minutes for August 11th, 2022 for approval. Do I have a second?
gonna need to abstain because I wasn't here. So what do you want to do with those?
No,
Joe's here.
Well, I'll just table it.
Yeah.
I'll table it for now. We don't have enough votes to pass it, so. for
Right.
approval. I guess I'll put that for a second and then table the minutes tonight. Approve. Seconds approves.
Second, yes.
Okay, now we're formal. Two public hearings scheduled for tonight. The first one is ZBA case 2223, application of Travis Shellhorse, Very Twin Gables LLC, as represented by Dale Lunan of Lubrano Clavara Architects, 45 Main Street, 1016 Brooklyn, New York, 11201, for property located at 73 Tinker Street, Woodstock, New York, 12498. A 0.25 acre parcel located within HC, Hamlet Commercial, with HPO, Hamlet Preservation Overlay, zoning districts for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 4, Area and Bulk Regulations, Section 260-16, Attachment 2, HC Column E, for a 10-foot infringement to a minimum required 15-foot front yard setback in order to construct an exterior covered stairway and rooftop deck. Dale, this is where we turn it over to you to give us your pitch on what's going on here.
Okay, great. Can I do a screen share? I have like a 5-minute presentation.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, yeah. So I'll just basically walk through the submission documents were, so make sure everyone understands, what we're proposing, and then, I'll answer any questions.
It's all yours.
All right. So. Okay, everyone can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so we're in the corner of Nair Street and Tinker Street, the Twin Gables Inn. So
Right.
zooming in. Okay, so we're on the corner here, right?
Yes.
And so this is a property survey here. So you can see the property line in its relationship to the existing building here, just dashed in. And oh, sorry, I went the wrong direction. Okay, so here's our site plan. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see where the setbacks are, the existing building, proposed structure.
Thank you.
So this is a corner lot. So there's two front streets. There's a front street on Tinker Street, which is here. The setback line is this sort of dash line, this sort of dash dot line you can see here.
Mhm.
And then also, since corner lot, we're also our front street on Nair Street. Apologies if I'm not saying it correctly.
Yeah, you got it right. Yep.
All right, yeah, so here, so you sort of see here that the existing structure is well within the 15-foot setback requirement, and that's sort of the origin of our situation here. Okay, so now the roof deck in question is to be located at the existing roof, and so that's not hatched, but that's this sort of area here, and I have some other drawings I can show you in a second. And the newly proposed fire egress stair is in this hatched area here. So that's servicing, that's proposed to service the roof deck, the second floor, and then out to grade. Currently, there is a egress stair that only services the second floor, down to grade. So as you can see here, the proposed stair, it does infringe on the front yard setback, though to a lesser degree than the existing building here. I'll note that these egress stairs are allowable in residential neighborhoods, but of course that doesn't apply to us here in the historic district. So let me just zoom out a little bit and go to the next slide. So these are photos. Most of you are likely familiar with this site, I imagine.
Mhm.
So here we are on Tinker Street, which I would call the front elevation. Here, the east facade along Nair Street. Here, looking at the north, you sort of see the existing fire stair here. This is looking kind of from the yard of the property. And then the bottom right is the west facade, which is sort of not relevant at this moment, but that's the west facade. Then okay, so and then just before I get to that, here's some views sort of at angles. That's really where you can see a little bit better. So this is where you'll see it from the street, like across the street. So this is the existing stair, and we're proposing having this come up, stopping about in line with where that window is there. If you see that, it would go up to there. And then now this cornice that's on the existing building, that would remain. And the roof line would be, below that cornice, similar, close to where the bottom of the existing roof line is. And here you see it's sort of like a 3D massing. The left is the existing and the right is the proposed. So you sort of see the existing building. We're proposing extending the stair up. And then you see how there's an existing kind of like low sloped roof that we replaced with an occupiable roof deck is the proposal. There are other components to this project that include like a dormer, but that's beyond the sort of scope of what ZBA is concerned with right now. And basically, I think in the proposal, we sort of described like, why are we choosing to locate it, where it is, this stair, where it is. Basically, this is the location where the stair would have the smallest footprint of anywhere on the lot. And, we think that it keeps with the sort of architectural sort of spirit of the house. We're using some precedent from the house, the front portico. So I need a picture of that. It has this sort of nice sort of like arched portico that we're proposing, matching out the rear to kind of create some continuity between the front and the rear, and create environment that's hospitable to the guests of the hotel, but also trying to improve the character where possible and doing these works of the neighborhood at large, because of course the hotel is in symbiotic relationship with the success of the town. So that's basically our proposal. I do have like the full DOB submission set. If people want to look at more technical drawings or dimension drawings, I'm happy to share that. So that's basically just explaining what we're proposing here, and I can field any questions that you may have.
Yeah, is there a railing and such being built on the deck that wasn't apparent in the?
Yeah, so yeah, so the parapet will remain. The parapet's not the 42 inches required for a railing that's within 36 inches of a drop. So there would be a railing. It extends it'd be on the inside face of the parapet, and it would extend about 18 inches above the top of the parapet.
And what is that comprised of?
Wrought iron is what we're proposing.
Okay, yeah.
It'd be painted black.
Okay. Anybody else on the board have any questions?
I don't have a question for him, but I have a question for you. Since it's in the Hamlet preservation overlay, should we be talking to the CCD?
Has this gone before them, Mr. Lunan?
The county?
We have a
Civic Design Commission?
yeah.
I submitted this to your building department. I forget the gentleman's name, and he referred me to your board, and then he said subsequent to this, if it were to be approved, then to supply him with the site plan, but he didn't mention the community board that you're referencing.
We may have to mention it to them, at least as a courtesy. I'll check further on it.
I can send an email to Dave Eckroth tomorrow with the application so he can look it over and then see if it's something that has to be sent to them.
Yeah, because we usually do run things that go by in their district by them. So
This is related to being in the HC district or the HPO overlay?
the second,
The overlay.
right.
And what's the name of the group?
Commission.
Commission for Civic Design.
Okay.
And David Eckroth is the chairman.
EKROTH.
Okay. Should I reach out to him directly, or you'll reach out to him and then he'll contact me if need be, or
Yeah,
someone?
or he may just send us his take on it too. There may not be much for them to do.
Okay.
Especially since well, I don't want to suppose, but it seems like a fairly minimalist thing without a lot of. Anyway, I'm not gonna guess.
Understood, yeah.
Sure.
Dale, I can CC you on the email that I sent him, and then if need be, when he answers me back, you'll probably see the answer.
Yeah,
as
please
well.
have him CC me and we can save a step maybe.
Right.
Yeah. That'd
That
be
sounds good.
Okay. Anybody else on the board have any questions about this project? Okay. So I guess, Michelle, if you can read the contiguous neighbors.
Janina Harper, 77 Tinker Street, Woodstock, New York. John H. Markles and Rosalinda Markles, 1 Edgewood Street, Summit, New Jersey. Robert Williams, 155 Forest Lake Drive North, Andover, New Jersey. Cornelia Logan, P.O. Box 335, West Park, New York. Near Street LLC, 323 Park Avenue, Hoboken, New Jersey. The Town of Woodstock, 45 Como Drive. Sacha Dreams LLC, 74 Tinker Street. And Richard Jeffrey, 3546 Auburn Court, Sarasota, Florida. And we did not receive any written communications or phone calls regarding this case.
Okay. Well, I see Martin is here. Martin, did you catch any of that of the presentation, or do you have any questions about it at this point?
Yeah, I did. Is there like a structural engineer drawing? Are you rebuilding this whole deck? And what kind of finished pavers are you specifying? Is there like a capacity to the deck? Or has any of those been presented? I haven't seen anything like that.
He offered more technical drawings.
I'd like to see.
It's not usually our purview because it's done but through the building department, and it wouldn't affect the design quality and the spatial footprint of it. So, but yeah, you could always make those available. You want to see them now, or would you be happy just to get a set of those?
No, just an email is fine.
Okay.
I'll just respond briefly. We do have a structural engineer on the project. We haven't yet submitted his drawings to the town because we're going through this process first, but we do have the structural engineer because we will be rebuilding that roof, correct? Because we're reframing it
I think
basically.
it's just something to mention at this point, to know that it's going to happen, I think is.
Yeah, the structural engineer is involved in the anchorage details of the guardrail and the pavers. We're going to be using we're planning on using like a Trex system on the pavers.
Yeah, and the rail is wrought iron up top,
Okay.
black wrought iron.
No other questions.
Okay. All right, so you've read the contiguous neighbors. Does anybody else who's on this meeting care to comment on this? See some head shaking side to side. So with that, Mr. Lunan, I guess we'll be reviewing this. Our earliest time we'd be able to make a decision would be on our September 7th meeting. We have 62 days to render a decision. Pending Mr. Eckroth's review on this, just, if we have any questions, we could always email you, and you can email us back with anything now. Tonight, we'll be closing the public hearing, so we won't be doing any more talking about this in public except when we vote. But we can receive correspondence and we can share correspondence. And that's the process at this point. So any questions before?
No, my point of contact's been Michelle, so I assume that's who I should reach out to if anything comes up.
Always the best, yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
one of the many hats I wear.
You forgot your hat.
I did.
Okay. So anyway, with that, I would like to close the public hearing for case 22. What? Close the public hearing for case 22, 23. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, Mr. Lunan. And also with that, I would like to recess case 22-23. Do I have a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, very good. Moving on. Get to my other page. ZBA case 2224. Application of Judy Gerson for property located at 1147 Wittenberg Road, Woodstock, New York, 12498. A 2.98 acre parcel located within an R5 zoning district for a variance from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, Article 5, Supplementary Regulations, Section 260-59C, accessory apartment within a single-family dwelling, in order to construct an accessory apartment with a front-facing entryway on an undersized lot. Okay, so I understand that, Alex, you're gonna take point on this?
Actually, we thought we were not going to be able to have access to internet, but I'm Judy, so I can do
You're
it.
all free to speak, so go ahead and do it however you like to give us the presentation.
Okay. Well, basically, we're looking to build an attached addition as an accessory apartment on our home, a single-family home. I guess the purpose of this is because we're a pre-existing non-conforming lot in a 5-acre district. We're proposing the apartment attached and connected to the house with a staircase on the west side of our building, which is situated so that it's probably furthest from any of our property lines, not impinging on any setbacks. We did ask, if possible, for an additional variance to have a front-facing entry, only because we think in the construction process, it might make it a little bit more amenable to accessibility if we needed that in the future.
Basically, it's for us. When we get older.
Yeah, I mean, the point of the accessory apartment is for us to live in down the line if and when we're not able to live in our 2-story home any longer.
Right. Okay,
We get to run the sides.
so, does anybody on the board have any questions?
I think the question we always have to ask is, you're not intending to use this as a short-term rental?
Not
No,
at all. We're
not at
not
all.
intending it as a rental at all. I mean, it might be a guest area for friends or family until we move into it ourselves.
And for the
I mean, we
record, we don't always ask that, but Jude does.
Okay,
Well, we had discussed this with our son, if he wanted the house, and that's the reason we're doing it. Because otherwise, when we get off, when we're older, can do the stairs anymore, we were gonna sell the house. So this is our plan, to keep the house for him and then have a place for us to move next door.
Well, I have to give my thing that every time this comes up is I was the champion for the accessory apartment back in 2002.
I remember.
And this is the reason why we did it,
mhm, right.
So
Stay in their homes.
people like us don't have to leave Woodstock.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because we love it so much. I'm being a little sarcastic. No, I do love it here. I'm also a neighbor, not too far
Oh,
away.
are you? Okay,
Yeah.
so you probably know the house.
I probably ride my bicycle up there all the time. I'll look for it now.
Okay,
We have solar panels. You can't miss it
Okay.
in the field.
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, I had given Michelle a site plan and a western elevation
Right.
and a very preliminary floor plan that maybe you guys have copies of, so.
We originally had Mike Castiglione was going to be the eyes and ears on this, but I'm close by, so I'll help Michael out with it if need be, whatever. And take a look at this.
Who were you referring to?
Just another member of the board who was supposed to be. We usually give the projects to somebody to do the site work,
I got it,
and
okay,
he's not here, but I'll contact you if I need to get on the property. Okay,
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
So just to be clear, the variance you need is in order to have a second entrance in the front of your house. You
Well,
don't
I
need,
think we need the variance just to build the project, period, because it's only like a 3-acre lot in a
Yeah.
5-acre district. But in addition, we want to consider having the ability to put the entrance front facing.
The drawings that I made, basically just a sketch of using the 756 square feet that we can use, because the house is undersized, we can't do 800 square feet. So, that's it. So it's
How big-
not 100.
how big is your house?
1,890 square feet, something like that.
And the reason for the request of the variance for the front facing door is to make it more accessible in case it's needed for a wheelchair at some point.
Right, a ramp or something. I did see that. Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
are there any other questions from the board? All right, Michelle, if you could read the contiguous neighbors, that'd be wonderful.
Michelle, you're on mute.
Michelle.
Okay, we've got City of New York DEP, 71 Smith Avenue, Kingston. 1125 Wittenberg Road. Grant Cornett and Janine Iverson. The Saugerties. 45 Little Deer Road, Woodstock, New York, Awesome Deer LLC. And 1440 Wittenberg Road, Gene Smith and Lloyd O'Marion. And no written communications or phone calls were received either.
Okay, so is there anybody else in the public who would wish to comment on this case at this time? If not, if you were listening before, we will try to get to this by our next meeting if possible. If not, we do have 62 days to render a decision. If you want to check in, and you don't have to come to these meetings to find out, you can call the Friday after the meeting, which would be the 8th, that's the Friday after the next meeting, to call Michelle and see what the disposition is, if we were able to vote, and if we have indeed voted.
Can we get a link to that meeting, Michelle, if we want to tune into it? Okay, great. Thank you.
Just to let you know, the link is always on the town website calendar as well,
Okay,
under the
Great.
ZBA meeting. So if by any chance I forget to send it to you, you can always go on there and it'll be there.
okay,
And
thank you.
quite often, we don't know if we're going to be voting up until sometimes till Thursday morning, because whether or not somebody was able to write the decision, that's always a part of this. We need to write our legal decision because we're a quasi-legal board. So we can't just open it up and just have at it. So we have to have our decisions written, and they're not always done in time, even if
Okay.
we do our due diligence. So just so you know.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. So with that, I guess we'll close the public hearing for case number 2224. Do I have a second? All in favor?
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Well, nice talking with you guys tonight. And
Thank you. And
Enjoy your vacation.
thank you.
all right, bye-bye.
Thanks.
So
We'll be on
with
tomorrow.
that, I would like to recess
Okay.
case number 2224. Do I have a second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, very good. All right, so we have some decisions tonight.
Okay, we're ready.
We're going to sign off. Thank you
you.
very much.
Okay,
Have
bye-bye.
a good night.
Okay. Okay, I would like to open case number ZBA case 2216 5 Cabins LLC. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion that anyone needs to have before we read the interpretation? Okay. So our interpretation request is in response to a determination by the zoning enforcement officer dated March 17th, 2022, in which the zoning enforcement officer determined that the 5 Cabins property is a pre-existing non-conforming use as Cabins Camp. The applicant asks the zoning board of appeals to determine if the 5 Cabins use has changed from non-conforming seasonal or temporary Cabins Camp to a motel use. The zoning board of appeals has taken the following town of Woodstock zoning law definition into consideration in determining its interpretation. Camp definition: any parcel of land in which are located 2 or more cabins, tents, shelters, or other accommodations of design or character for seasonal or other temporary living purposes, including summer colony and day camp, but not including a trailer park, boarding house, hotel, or motel. Schedule of use table: the zoning board of appeals has taken section 260-14 schedule of use table attached into consideration, determining its interpretation. The property operation as a seasonal camp or cabins predates zoning laws in the town of Woodstock. 2, according to the town building department records, the cabins were renovated beginning in October of 2002 with no designated change of use. This board finds that the zoning enforcement officer, building inspector, has correctly applied the zoning law of the town of Woodstock in determining that the 5 Cabins property is a pre-existing non-conforming use as a seasonal use and not a motel. Vote is as follows: Gordon Wemp, aye. Mike Castiglione is absent. Judith Salato,
Aye,
Joseph Bellick,
you're muted.
Joseph Bellick. Joe, you have to unmute.
Aye.
There we go.
I am voting
Thank you.
aye. Yes.
Okay, Marcia Zwilling is absent, and we will not need Mr. Mills' vote for tonight. So the resolution was adopted, or the resolution as the interpretation is adopted by a vote of 3 in favor, none opposed, 2 absent, and none abstaining. Okay, thank you. So
Wait.
with that, I would like to close ZBA case 22-16 5 Cabins LLC. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joe,
Aye.
we need you. Okay, thank you.
Gordon, just a question.
Here.
Should I change that wording there where it says the resolution was adopted to the interpretation was adopted?
Well, I guess yes, that would be good. I think. Just-
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Let's do ZBA case 2222, applicant Bryn Levy. Resolution based upon the.
Wait, open.
Oh, you have to open case, ZBA case 2222. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
With that, we have a resolution for this case based upon the standards for consideration of area variances and conditional upon compliance with the stated representations, area variances from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, use regulations, section 260-24B, accessory structures and features in yards, in order to construct a 16-foot by 32-foot in-ground pool in the front yard is hereby granted, subject to all the requirements of the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, New York State real property law, and all other applicable laws, codes, and regulations. The vote is as follows: Gordon Wemp, aye. Michael Castiglione is absent. Judith Salato,
Aye,
Joseph Bellick,
Aye.
Marcia Zwilling is absent, and we do not need your vote again, Mr. Mills. So the resolution is adopted by a vote of 3 in favor, none opposed, 2 absent, and none abstaining. Okay, so with that, I would like to close ZBA case 22-22. Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Moving on. Where is that one? It's hiding back here. Here we go. I would like to open ZBA case number 22-21. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have a resolution based upon the standards for consideration of area variances and conditional upon compliance with the stated representations, area variances from the zoning law of the town of Woodstock. Article 4, area and bulk regulations, modification of required yards, section 260-26B2C, for a 30-foot infringement into a minimum required 50-foot rear yard setback, and it's, excuse me, and a 7-foot infringement into a modified side yard setback to construct an 8x12 storage shed is hereby granted, subject to all requirements, excuse me, requirements of the zoning law of the town of Woodstock, New York State real property law, and all other applicable laws, codes, and regulations. The vote is as follows: Gordon Wamp, aye. Michael Castiglione, absent. Judith Salado,
Aye.
Joseph Bellick,
Aye.
Marcia Zwilling, absent, and Mr. Mills again. Thank you for being here as always, but we do not need your vote since we carried this by a vote of 3 in favor, none opposed, 2 absent, and none abstaining. With that, I would like to close ZBA case 22-21. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else anybody has for tonight before we go?
It's just nice seeing all of you.
Same here.
Nice to see you too.
We're getting through these quicker and quicker. It's good. So
I thought it was gonna be a long meeting.
30 minutes, it's pretty good with
Beautiful.
3 decisions and two hearings. Not bad.
No shouting.
Gordon Wemp is a reformed chair.
All right. So with that, without any further objections, I would like to adjourn tonight's meeting. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Everybody, have a good.
Well, have a good night.
You as well. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Night.
you.
Thanks again, Michelle.
Gordon,
Bye-bye.
will you be in tomorrow or Monday?
Wait, yeah, I can come in tomorrow. I'm around. What?
Crazy tonight.
So cute.
He likes to see himself on camera.
Before we go, so Jude, I didn't even realize. So if you have an undersized lot, you need a variance, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
I guess I didn't even know that. I have the same. I'm in the same situation. I have almost the exact same size.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
But I,
that's
So
sort of
do
why I
you
took
have
it.
that,
Since I'm
though?
in the same situation, I'll do the research on it.
yeah, good. Well, good. You'll let us know. And then, you don't have to give me any specifics, but did you see my email about the
one?
neighbor? I'll call you.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to reach out to someone. So I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Okay, so tomorrow or Monday? I didn't hear you.
But I'll be around tomorrow. Yes. You'll
Okay.
have them done by whenever.
Maybe
lunch?
11?
All right.
Okay.
Well, shoot me a text when they're done.
Okay,
And then I'll try and get over there.
awesome. Thanks, Gordon.
All right. Good night.
Say goodnight.
Night.
Night.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.